Joining me on the broadcast live at this time are 4 aspirants for positions in the Indian Army. We've got Aman, Harshit, Rajiv and Hemant. They're amongst those who are protesting in Bihar, joining us this evening on the news track. Also with us on this broadcast is General V.K. Singh. General V.K. Singh is the Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Road Transport in the Modi government, the senior most military man now in the civil administration, and he's been in both worlds. And therefore, General Singh, I'm wanting to know at the beginning what you're making of this nationwide protest regarding the Agnipath scheme. You know, you've got a lot of apprehension, lots of youngsters in different parts from Bihar all the way to Rajasthan in the west coming out in the streets protesting. The government thinks this scheme will benefit, reduce the average age of the military, also making the military leaner, more agile, younger, more tech-friendly, but these protesters don't seem to be reading off the same script.
Rahul, I'll start by saying that if anybody wants to come to the army and has a feel for the army, they won't be protesting. If they're protesting, there must be something else which is telling them to protest or guiding them to protest. What is this scheme all about? The scheme is a simple scheme. 17.5 to 21 years, you can join the army. We will train you for 6 months. Total period is 4 years. After that, whosoever does well, who fits the bill, who meets the requirement of his peers and others in the unit, will be retained, 25% of them. The others will be sent out. Now, the misrepresentation is on this being sent out. Oh, we will be abandoned. Nobody is being abandoned. Haryana CM has made an announcement, the UP CM has made an announcement, the Home Minister has made an announcement that we will give you priority in CAPF and the police forces. All the states where this is happening, and I would request Ashok Gehlot ji, I would request the state of Bihar, why can't you make an announcement if you are so concerned? Or is it that you have got no concern?
One of the reasons why a lot of these youngsters enter the army, General Singh, is because after serving for 15 years, they are assured of lifelong pension and they have some financial security in the later years of their life. And, you know, I was born and brought up in the Indian Army. I have a good sense of, you know, what motivates these people, and financial security after retirement was a big factor always. Now the concern is, in the government's attempt to try and cut its pension bill, you will ease out 75% of those who will join, and therefore the idea that the army, you serve the nation in the prime of your life because in your later years the nation protects your family, that idea seems to be going out of the window, which is one of the reasons why all these youngsters are so agitated.
None of them, Rahul, none of them is going to be on the street, except if they want to be. None of them is going to be on the street. They will be lapped up as a trained manpower by n number of people. You just wait and see. Are you giving them trained people, people who can lead, people who can fight, people who have the motivation to do things? Are these people going to be on the street? I think we are taking things too far. Pension bill can be cut. No, just as a pension bill can be cut down by many other means. Let's not link it to pension bill. I think unnecessarily people are adding into it. It is a scheme. Let this scheme at least start. Let's see how things work out. Even before things work out, we are jumping around. Oh, this will happen, this will happen. I don't think anybody who's shouting like this is even fit for the army. If I was in that helm of affairs, I won't take any one of them.
So one of the glues that holds our Paltans together is a sense of regimental pride, that you know that the man fighting next to you is as committed to the cause of the Paltan and of the nation as you are. Now the concern is, can you inculcate an adequate sense of regimental pride into a young soldier within 4 years, that he has this spirit of esprit de corps, that karo ya maro, do or die, that becomes his mantra? Because if you're in battle, you need to know that the man next to you is as motivated and as committed as you are, otherwise you can't go into battle confident.
Rahul, let me, since you are an army brat, let me say a few things. A soldier enters the unit after doing a training of 1 year. You mean to say in 4 years he doesn't imbibe the values and the esprit de corps and the spirit which takes him to fight for the izzat of his unit? We had emergency commission officers who came in 62 to us. 3 months of training.
Yes.
Did they not have the spirit? You had short service commission officers who came with short training. Did they not have the spirit? I think this is just a facade that is being put up. It depends on the unit to ensure that each soldier which comes to the unit thinks about the unit, breathes about the unit, eats what the unit gives it. They imbibe the values. And let me tell you, all these people who will leave after 4 years and 25% being retained, all of them will be spirited youngsters who will deliver wherever they are asked to deliver.
Now, the government is convinced that this will lead to a leaner, meaner, more agile, younger army. Protesters in different parts of the country have a different opinion. We are told that these protests could potentially intensify. You have a real challenge on your hands, General. How is the government planning to handle these angry youngsters who have insecurity about jobs? They were hoping that this could be their one path of financial security. That now seems in jeopardy. How do you intend to handle their anxieties?
Rahul, when you start a project or a scheme, when we started again I take you back to emergency commission. It was decided to give emergency commission. Did we say it is a pilot? We started the short service thing for 5 years. Did we say it is a pilot? Later on we changed it when we found there were difficulties. We were not getting enough intake. We said, okay, not 5 years, we will take it to 10 years. Similarly, let this scheme at least take to the ground. What it will evolve as, only time can tell. I think all these people who are motivating the youth and feeding them all misinformation need to think about it.
Okay, so you've given us your perspective, General. You're the senior most military man in the government, and therefore your word carries weight. You think that this is a scheme that helps India's youth, helps the Indian Army, and that's what we need to look at. Thank you.